Welcome to Abilene Christian University's live visit today with our Political Science and Criminal Justice Department. We are excited to be with you here in the ACU TV studio live. I'm here with Dr. Neil Coates, the chair of the department, and we are going to spend some time sharing with you today about this wonderful department program, the majors available, and I'm going to facilitate a Q&A to help you students and families get to better know this department here at Abilene Christian University. I'm Tamara Long. I'm the Vice President for enrollment. Many of you are getting emails from me, and I too look forward to getting to know you in the coming weeks and months ahead. So, Dr. Coates, I'm going to kick off and just ask you to tell the students here a little bit about you, your department, the majors that you offer students.
Sure. Our department offers several majors for political science and criminal justice students, because no matter if you want to go into law, if you want to be a law enforcement officer one day, if you want to be a city manager, if you want to be a judge, any type of a public servant, our department teaches you, and we teach other people here at ACU also. We offer a BA in political science, a BA and a BS in criminal justice. We offer minors in both those areas. We also oversee what's called the Jack Pope Fellows Program, which I'll be telling you more about during our time together. And then also, we oversee what's called the Jack Pope Fellows Program that's named after a former Texas Supreme Court justice, and I'll say more about that also.
Thank you, Dr. Coates. Now, ACU has a rich history in cultivating Christian critical thinkers who are global leaders. Our mission is to educate students for Christian service and leadership throughout the world. And that is very evident in the program here that Dr. Coates is overseeing at ACU. Dr. Coates, could you talk to us a little bit more about public service, why that is so important to you, what that means to you in this program, and also, since I know you're passionate about teaching, why you love teaching here at ACU?
You know, I wish we had more than 20 minutes. And any of us professors could say that, but we really want you to be at ACU because there's no better time with troubles in the world and troubles in our country to train young women and young men for public service positions throughout the country and beyond. You know, maybe you want to work for the State Department, maybe you want to work for International Rescue Committee. There's just so many things that you can do with a college degree and with the training that you get at Abilene Christian. ACU started, a long time ago in 1906, and ever since then, there's been this desire for Christians to influence other people and to serve. And persons that come through our area, whether they do go to law school or they get their master's or they just go straight into government work or perhaps be a high school teacher in a small city in Texas, there are just so many ways that you can influence others and you can influence the future. So I love being a teacher at Abilene Christian because the projects we get involved with our students and the research that they do and the internships that they're involved with all provide a very, very rich experience during their 4 years of college, but also their 3 summers. And I want to say a word or two here during our time about the resumes that we look at for our students and also the internship experiences that they have during the long semesters, but also during their summers.
No, that's excellent. Can you talk a little bit about the Jack Pope Fellows Program, the importance of that, how it helps support students in your department and in your program, and the opportunity? It also provides some scholarship opportunities, which I'll talk a little bit more about as well here in a moment.
You know, it's a long time ago in 1934 when a man named Jack Pope graduated from Abilene Christian. But you got to understand that our commitment to helping other people is many, many decades long. And Jack Pope went on to be a lawyer and to be a judge and to be the longest serving justice in Texas, and wrote over 1,000 opinions and was kind of the father of Texas water law. But more importantly than just the important property rights involved with water in an arid state, he helped develop the first code of ethics for judges in the Lone Star State. And he was such a highly respected person that a Republican governor appointed Jack Pope, a Democrat, as the Chief Justice of the Texas Supreme Court. And it's that high standard that he was following in his personal and professional life that influenced many generations of Abilene Christian students to also think about going to law school. Our department keeps 4 lists, 4 databases, if you will, and one of them is for people who have finished law school. All 4 of them deal with alumni, with criminal justice alumni, political science alumni, Jack Pope Fellows alumni, and these persons that have gone on to law, there are over 700 of them who have gone on and successfully finished law school and have gone everywhere from Harvard to you just name it. And a number of them have gotten involved in public service. And so these students who are juniors and seniors on campus, about 15 every year, are selected, meet special speakers, have special experiences. They go to Austin. They get a special scholarship. They also get a minor in public service. And it's a great honor that they can, on their resume and on their LinkedIn list, for the rest of their life, they can say, I was a Jack Pope Fellow at Abilene Christian University. We're the only school that has anything named after Jack Pope, and he's one of the most revered legal figures in Texas history. So because of that, we just have a really good public service program. And I'm sure Tamara's going to ask me either now or in a few minutes to tell you about our pre-law program. But Jack Pope is just one of these kind of tremendous figures in the history of this school, but also in Texas. And so we're glad to have this program.
Yes, we're very, very honored to have the Jack Pope Fellows program. I mentioned a little bit about scholarships, and the Jack Pope Fellows is one of those ways students receive scholarships. Also, students want you to know that a couple of questions have come in just about preparing to be at ACU and in this department as well. But admission to the university is obviously key to being considered for scholarships. Students that are rising seniors, you're just now finishing up that junior year, you're a senior now in my eyes. You are going to be invited to apply for admission to ACU on July the 1st. And want to make sure that you are aware of that date. We look forward to seeing your application. It'll include some great information that you get to provide us to get to know you better on the application, including interest of major. Also, your high school transcript is needed to consider you for admission to the university. And also want you to be aware that for this next year, ACU is allowing for test optional admission. But want you to know that for consideration for our highest academic scholarship, the Presidential Scholarship, or the Honors College, you will need a test score. So want you to keep that in mind as you complete your application. And want you to know that the first pathway to scholarships at ACU is admission to the university, that you will be considered for and offered a scholarship based on that application to the university, taking into account at a significant level your high school work and the work that you've done in high school, which leads me to talking a little bit about how do you prepare to be here. I cannot stress enough the value of leaning into taking above and beyond those minimum requirements to graduate from high school and taking that opportunity to take some of those extra math or science or social science courses. Those are going to help you foundationally. And then being involved in work, in a job, or outside of the classroom, those things are going to really help set you apart and prepare you. Dr. Coates, I'll let you answer a little bit further about preparing to be a political science major, what students can do for that. And then when you finish talking about that, if you don't mind talking about the Fulbright Scholars and the Fulbright Scholarship, which is a postgraduate, a post-experience, but leads to scholarship. So if you don't mind sharing how they can prepare to be here and a little bit more about the Fulbright Scholars.
I love talking to students when they come to campus or via technology and asking them questions like this. What are you doing this summer? And somebody says, well, I might be a lifeguard or have a job here or there. I say, well, do you have a resume? And they say, yeah, I've worked on a resume. I'm using that for admission to college or perhaps look for a part-time job. I say, great. Let's think about doing something now that will help you, and you can earn money, but toward your eventual profession. Let's say that you do want to be a lawyer. Let's say that you want to be a high-ranking official in some government agency. Let's say you want to be a university president. I mean, there's so many ways that political science and criminal justice can influence your future. But I say, before you even come to ACU, why don't you go work part of the summer in a law firm? What if you go to the city manager's office or go to the mayor's office in your large city or your small city and say, I'd like to work for you for 6 weeks. Here's my resume. there is no better way to start to expand your understanding of the world than to right now just volunteer. It's so easy, and it's something you can go ahead and put on your resume, because every fall in my department, I actually ask my students, let me see your resume. So we have 100 political science and CJ students, and they bring me their resumes, and we sit down for several minutes, and I not only look at the resume to give them some advice on how it looks and how to reorganize it perhaps, but then I say, what are you doing next? Because students, what you need to know is that our freshmen, poli-sci and CJ students, are already doing internships in their fall and in their spring, because there's a local congressman's office here. There's a mayor's office here. There are 25 different state agencies that people can get involved in from the get-go. And there are other things that they get involved in with regard to their classes. But right now, you have so many opportunities to expand what you know and who you know. And so, just don't wait. Now, what was the second thing you just asked me to do?
To talk a little bit about your Fulbright scholars.
Okay. So, you need to know also that ACU is not only thinking about you right now and getting you into a great school, we're also thinking about those great experiences that you can have after college. We have an Office of Major Scholarships, and whether it's Marshall, Truman, Fulbright, there's another 10 or so that we help students get directed into. And it's a gap year scholarship, the Fulbright scholarship is. And we've had 2 here in the last 3 years or so who are political science majors. There were 2 at ACU just announced just about a week ago. And these 2 from our department, one went to Malaysia, one went to Germany. And they are teaching students, high school students there. They are cultural ambassadors. And that title of Fulbright Scholar goes with you your entire life. It's an incredible experience. And ACU can help you prepare for that. And one way is study abroad. Another way is picking a major that helps you on that way. And so that's what I would say just in brief about Fulbright. But if you come to ACU, your chances of getting a Fulbright are just so much greater now because of the effort that people before you are making.
Oh, that is so true. We want you students to know that ACU is here to journey alongside you and to set you up for success, and we want to help you meet your goals. A few questions have come in about time to complete the degree. A degree at ACU is typically completed, we hope, for 4 years. We know that your parents, they're hearing that loud and clear and tapping you on the shoulder saying, yes, 4 years, maybe even sooner due to the way that we structure our block tuition model, the way we work with our students to help support you finishing a degree in a timely manner. So know that we're here to do that for you. Another thing I want to talk to you a little bit about is the importance of experiential learning and out of the classroom. And I know Dr. Coates talked about that a little bit, and I'm going to set him up for this as well. And that's study abroad. A few questions just came in about that. But studying abroad is important to us at ACU. We are very committed to that and have been for over 40 years. We've been taking students all over the world to truly experience the classroom out of the traditional 4 walls, studying alongside your faculty. So ACU operates 3 sites year-round, Montevideo, Uruguay, Leipzig, Germany, and Oxford, England. We have a brand new, well, the facility's not new to ACU facility located in Oxford, England, that'll be opening this fall. We're very excited about that. And we're excited about the partnership with departments such as political science, criminal justice, to provide students with that global experience. So Dr. Coates, if you can talk a little bit about political science at ACU, studying abroad, what that means. And also we've got a couple of students that have been asking specifically about an international relations concentration, as well as the difference between maybe global studies and that international relations political science. So if you can talk about both of those, study abroad and those components of your major.
Sure. Let's start with the Certificate in International Relations and Comparative Politics. Every year we have several students who select this, and they carry through during their 4 years. You need to achieve junior level proficiency in a foreign language. You need to also participate in a study abroad experience. And that IRCP certificate is just one extra thing you can put on your resume as you do think about some sort of an international relations type of job one day. In our same building, we have the History and Global Studies Department, and they offer a degree in this field also, and the students in both of these areas take classes in both departments, including with me. And so I'm teaching international relations, I'm teaching international law, I'm teaching American foreign policy, politics of developing countries. And those classes are really fascinating. So I would hope that you would come here for an IRCP certificate. In our American Foreign Policy class this fall, we're going to be wrestling with the question of, is there a new Cold War with China? In our Developing Countries class, we're going to be wrestling with the issue of COVID and developing countries. And there's so many other things to consider also, from terrorism to poverty eradication. But it's a really valuable certificate. Study abroad is incredible. I've had the opportunity to be a study abroad professor twice in Oxford. And of course, you travel all over Europe during your semester there also. But the ACU Study Abroad site is literally less than a quarter mile from where T.E. Lawrence of Lawrence of Arabia fame was raised. Then he went to college in Oxford, and then he went on to the Middle East and had this incredible life-changing and Middle East-changing experience. And it's also so close to J.R.R. Tolkien's house, you know, the Hobbit stories. And of course, C.S. Lewis was also a professor there. The richness of Oxford and Leipzig and Uruguay will just change your life and prepare you. I was an ACU student, and then I went into law school, became a prosecutor, then I got my doctorate and came back here eventually. And so many professors here love to come back to ACU and teach you and have some of these same experiences with you, because study abroad will just quite candidly just change how you see the world and how you understand the world. So I can't say enough about preparing to go on study abroad before you even come to college.
That is excellent and so true. So we invite you students and want you to know the value of studying abroad, cross-cultural experiences, and being a part of that global world that is such a core part of who we are. So a couple of questions. One was about being a student athlete and opportunities. So know that ACU is a Division I school competing in 17 NCAA Division I athletic programs, and is proud of the education we're providing our students. And definitely student athletes, you're going about two jobs. You're a student and you're an athlete at the same time, and you absolutely will have some incredible opportunities within programs and departments. Dr. Coates, if you don't mind just talking not just about how you support athletes, I would love your thoughts on the similarity or the opportunities athletes are afforded as well, but just talking about the way that your department actually supports students, how you teach in the classroom, how you support them out of the classroom with office hours and tutoring and so forth.
Well, I think it goes without saying, but we treat students like our own offspring. I have 4 children, and all 4 of them have come to ACU. The first 3 have graduated, and the 4th one is now a sophomore. And one of those children was a Division I athlete. He ran cross country and track. And Jesse's now graduated and had a wonderful experience here at Abilene Christian. And what your teachers will do and what we do in our department is we stay attuned, first of all, who are the student athletes. We know that there is a great demand on your time, not just being an athlete, but also the travel and the pressure of being a D1 and the challenge of being a D1 student. I was talking to a volleyball student earlier today here in Abilene. She has a part-time job. She's so excited to be back preparing for the fall. And it's just a tremendous experience to play some of the best teams, whether it be Texas A&M or Pepperdine or whoever, who's a D1 sport. And so we will give you the tutoring that you need. We will give you the sympathy that you need, the understanding when you've got to be out of town. And you're just going to have a wonderful experience. You'll remember it the rest of your life. And it's changed Jesse, my son, and it's influenced his profession. And so I want to encourage you, if you're thinking about being a D1 athlete, do it.
Now that is fantastic. And students, we want you to know there's incredible resources at ECU to support students out of the classroom. And Dr. Coates and many other faculty, that's what they're here for. And they provide unique care and concern for every student. And as Dr. Coates said, they're taking into account your individual story. So one final question, Dr. Coates, to answer, and that is uniquely, I believe, what makes ACU unique and why you're here, why I'm here, is we are a Christian university. We want to have that duality of purpose. We want to hold our academics to the highest standard of excellence, and while shaping you students spiritually and in a Christian environment. So if you can talk about what it means to be a department that has a Christian emphasis, a Christian worldview focus, if you can just talk a little bit about that for us.
Sure. Let me tell you about 2 projects that are ongoing in our department, and let me tell you about 2 of our alumni. And hopefully this will capture who we are, and you'll be interested in coming to join us. I mentioned a few minutes ago that I'm teaching American foreign policy this fall. Or if I was teaching Middle East politics or perhaps the terrorism class, I regularly have students spend time on some of their Saturdays at the Lawn Atlas Missile Base. In the early 1960s, the world's first intercontinental ballistic missile that was fired from a hardened silo was the Atlas F system. And there were 72 of these in the United States that, of course, were there to deter the Soviet Union from shooting its missiles or bringing its bombers over toward our country. And our students have a relationship with an ACU alum who actually has a missile site. The missile is no longer there, but it's restoration, but it's also education. So they can work on that site, they can scrub the metal, they can paint, they can preserve that underground 180 feet deep silo, and it's fantastic. It's just outside of Abilene. So if you want to be involved in the missile base and understand the Cold War that was so long in the 20th century, you need to be here. But another project that our students are involved in is every December and every January, there are 2 containers that leave from Abilene and they go to Zambia Medical Mission. And our students collect and organize and then load those containers with some other people here in town as we all volunteer for the world's largest medical mission every July in southern Zambia. And these are people that don't see a doctor or nurse all year long. And so that Christian compassion to help people on another part of the world, and some of our students have participated in Zambia Medical Mission, and I have too. It is just an incredible experience. And so if you want to participate in that kind of an atmosphere, come to ACU. Let me tell you about Brittany Partridge, who graduated just a few years ago, and Caleb Orr. Brittany Partridge came to ACU and said, I hate human trafficking. I want to save young ladies from what happens in several places around the world. And she came to ACU and she set up a nonprofit, and then she went to 75 universities, and everyone was purchasing red bracelets and raising money for 2 halfway houses in the country of Nepal. And Brittany helped, through her nonprofit, train people to stop bad guys at the border between India and Nepal and to save young ladies and then train them. That's the Red Thread Project. And Brittany, in the year 2012, so not that long ago, was the only female in America who won a Truman and a Marshall scholarship. Okay, that's like a Fulbright scholarship, and that paid for her education, her master's in King's College in London, and she's now in Washington, D.C., and she's still involved in fighting trafficking. Caleb Orr was a young man who came to our department, and halfway through college, he'd already done 3 congressional internships because he understood about leadership and he understood about the power of Congress and the presidency, and so he wanted to be on Capitol Hill for a number of years. And halfway through college, when he was poised to be higher and higher in our student government here at ACU, he got a call from Marco Rubio's office where he had just finished his internship, and they said, we want you to work for us. He said, I look forward to that after graduation. They said, no, we mean now. And so he was of such a caliber of student, which I'm sure some of you are also, that we did everything we could through guided studies and online classes. So he started working during college in D.C. And he's still on Marco Rubio's staff in D.C. And he's now at Georgetown Law School also furthering his education. And so Those are the types of students that come to ACU, and those are the types of opportunities that you can have. And I know that's a long-winded answer, and you got to forgive me because I'm a professor, but we want you here.
Thank you, Dr. Coates. As you can see, students, parents, our faculty are incredible. They love our students. They love teaching. They love walking alongside you, bringing you alongside them in research and in experiences. Students, more than anything, we cannot stress enough the importance of coming to campus. We want to meet you in person. This virtual time is excellent, an excellent introduction, a way to get to know you, but we look forward to hosting you on campus and hope that you will begin making plans to come check out this campus and get to know us better. Seniors that just graduated, congratulations. We can't wait to celebrate you here on campus in person, living in our residence halls with us in community. We cannot wait to have you on campus, students. Thank you for being with us today. We can't wait to see you, and have a wonderful week and a great summer.